everybody. I am Dr. Wu and I am listening. Together, we're going to navigate through, we're going to thrive in, and we are going to grow from this present crisis or any other crisis. Together, we're becoming better, we're becoming stronger, and we're becoming healthier. So what I am hearing this week is a bit of overwhelm and feeling stuck or a little anxiety from all the to-do lists and what to do next, and maybe a little bit of feeling drained or brain fog. So that's what we're going to talk about today, and got a really cool discussion. Again, let's activate our brilliant minds. Mind, body, relaxation. Take a deep breath in and blow it out. Take a deep breath in and let it all go. Let the stress go. Take a deep breath in and let it go. Excellent. Just keep taking those nice deep breaths. You can keep your eyes closed if you're not driving and just listen to my voice. The exercise we're going to do today is a compassion exercise. And what you're going to do is just realize that everybody does suffer at some time, somewhere, someplace. So that gives us compassion, that we're all on the same human journey, and there's no reason to put down anybody else. And then there's lots of compassion for ourselves and for each other. So we're going to practice this. Again, take a deep breath in. Breathe in that compassion, that love and peace, and then exhale that compassion, love, and peace to whoever comes to mind. Take a deep breath in. Inhale that peace and compassion and love, and exhale that peace, compassion, and love. Inhale, and then exhale it to the people that in your city, on your block, in your state, in the nation. Inhale, exhale. All the leaders of this world, our nations, our globe, our earth, our universe. Take a deep breath in. And let it go. Excellent, excellent. All right, so this idea really comes from Mr. David Allen. His book is called Getting Things Done, and it's quite amazing. Okay, so there's 5 steps to basically manage and overcome overwhelm. Number 1, we are going to capture. And what that means is you're actually going to collect. Hey, what's on your mind? What are the things to do? What are the issues? What are the problems? You're going to collect them and jot them down on a list. Any kind of list. And it may take about half an hour or an hour, but that's okay. Just first step, capture, collect, jot it down, make a list. Number 2, now you're going to clarify and you're going to actually process and see each problem, each issue, what is the committed outcome that you're trying to attain, all right? And you're going to come up, and so we're going to make all problems, we're turning all problems into a project. Yeah, so your life is not going to have any problems anymore. You're just going to have a bunch of projects, which really sounds good. So then you're going to have projects, and then you're going to come up with an action step. So let's say you're trying to decide whether to buy this car or that car. That is the project. But then what other steps? Yeah, the action steps. You're going to go on the internet, you're going to talk to some friends and compare. And then you're going to also have a timeline. And this is where the time management block comes in. You want to do it by Monday, do it by next month, and so on. Okay? So number 1 was capture. Number 2 is clarify with action steps. And then number 3 is you're going to organize. So you're going to put this list somewhere, and then you are going to basically put it there, and also have a time frame, and again just reminders everywhere so that you don't have to worry about it. It's all taken care of. It's all on automatic, and then number 3, that was number 3 number 3 is to organize. Number 4 is to reflect. That means actually review the list, either weekly or however frequently your issue requires of you. But the important thing about the reflect is make sure that you are completing 1 step at least, at a time, because you've got to kind of keep it current, and you do have to complete the tasks so that it'll motivate you. Remember, put that one little toe into the water, and again, 1 small step, and it will motivate you and propel you to go forward, which is what we're trying to do, right? Instead of being overwhelmed and stuck, we want to go forward. So capture, clarify, organize, reflect, and now the last one is engage. And this is the good part. Because you have dumped everything that was on your mind onto a list, your mind is now empty and clear. Now it can actually be clear. It can enjoy what is going on in the present. You can actually have freedom and power. You know how so many times, you're with family or friends and they say, hey, gee, you seem kind of not here today. What's going on? You'll say, oh yeah, a lot of stress at work, friends sick, things like that. So that kind of tells you, right? So because by doing this process, you really can really be fully in the present and enjoy the present, which is really pretty amazing, right? Because remember, the brain can only hold about 4 topics, so this will really, really, really help. So then you say, gee, this is all very good. It sounds great, actually. But how come we don't do it? That's the rub, right? So always, what are the challenges? What are the blocks we have to let go of? So this is very interesting. Number 1, we have to let go of the addiction to ambient anxiety. Just a fancy way of saying, stop tolerating indecision, Am I going to break up this person or am I going to still keep dating them? Pros and cons list, process it, put it on a list, do whatever investigation you want to do, thinker moments, imagine the future, and then make a decision. All right? So that's going to just that's going to take some decision. All right? Number 2, and this is quite often, I think, our fear of imperfection. A fear of, starting a huge project, what if I don't succeed? Well, only God is perfect, so we don't have to worry about perfection. Just do that 1%, just that one little percent. And then the other thing is, remember, like I've said so many times, just shoot for a B or a C. It's okay. It's okay to be a B or a C. And then number 3, you're gonna have to let go of being lazy. It's just not a quick fix. It's gonna take about an hour, right, to list it all down. And then every now and then you are going to have to check on it, and you are going to do one step at a time, one step at a time. So there is going to be some, movement, but you will be training cognitive, muscles. You really are, which will actually be amazing. So those are the 3 things you'd have to let go of in order to do this. And the other thing is the only way, unfortunately, the only way out of a situation is through. Otherwise you just get stuck and you're just going to stay in the situation, the bad circumstance. So the only way out is through. So I'm going to tell you a quick story. I was actually always a procrastinator all my life, but I didn't know why. But that's just the way I was, I don't know, made. I always study. I like to study, I guess maybe because it's kind of, I don't know, maybe I'm more adrenaline going. Sharpen mind. But no, I like to study the day before and then pull all-nighters for exams. Big essays and projects. I always wanted to do it at the last, the weekend before Monday. And I used to always wonder, I wonder why I didn't start this earlier. But again, remember I was only 16. And then the other thing is, and this is a very interesting point. When I did goof off and hung out with my friends or my family or anything than what I was supposed to be doing, I never really enjoyed it, and I actually felt really guilty, in the mind, so I wasn't even fully present to enjoy and to have fun. Gee, right? So how did I break my procrastination habit? I didn't break it. Life broke it for me. So this is very interesting. So I'm a resident, in the emergency medicine residency at UF here in Florida. And, an urgent care area, back then we had paper, it was like 1992. So the charts are like stacked together, just stacked, piled on top of each other. And there'd be, I don't know, 20, 40. We never counted because that would be way too discouraging. But the only way to get out of this situation and to take care of this pile is to go through it. So you had to pick up one patient at a time, one piece of paper at a time, right? And hopefully by 3 o'clock in the morning, maybe you'll be down to 5, and we would be like so relieved, until 7 o'clock, right? Until next shift. But because I was just forced to do it and there was no choice, there was no choice. What can you do? I mean, you have to go through, right, this issue to solve it. So it just became a habit, and so much of life really is a habit. So it just became a habit. And so that's just how I live my life now. If there is an issue, I like to actually process it and figure out what the next action step is. What I've learned from this one, though, I really like, is also what I've been talking about. Remember my talk about anxiety? Is I like boxing it. You know, what should ya, could ya, would ya, what ifs. Remember, right? Turn it into then what's, right? That's your project and your action steps, and then box it away. And then review it again, right? Same thing. And then you're present. And then remember, when you are present, it is amazing because then your mind is brilliant and you're not bogged down. You're not, the mind, remember, can only hold 4 things. So you have all these things in your subconscious, unconscious, whatever, that's draining you. Actually, you have a lot of energy. And that's why you may feel very drained, all right? It'll affect your dreams too, and your mind, body, and you know, spirit. It really will. And with the anxiety and all those other feelings, which is not a good thing, right? So, but if you actually empty out your mind, you know, empty out those things in your head, mind, brain, then you're actually able to look around and look at the trees and the leaves and the pond and the trees and the sunshine, and just enjoy the people you're with, or enjoy, if you are working on a task, you can actually enjoy what you're doing there too. So again, you're just present, you're there, which is amazing, just to be there. So yeah, so that was the mind, okay? So really incorporate this. I really think it's amazing. I'm gonna go now to the body, all right? The earth is made up of 2/3 water. The human body is made up of 2/3 water. There is nothing called coincidence. This is intelligent design, okay? So what am I gonna talk about? Water, okay? So important to have water, but hey, how much water am I supposed to have anyway? Easy formula, take your weight, divide it by 2, and that's the fluid ounces you need for the day, baseline, okay, base. So let's say you're 150 pounds, so that'll be 75 fluid ounces a day, which will be a little bit more than 9 cups a day, right? And that's what you calculate. Put it in a big mug, what jug, whatever, you know that's what you're gonna do for the day. Again, that's the baseline. You do have to actually add on 1 for exercise, obviously, your level of activity. And then number 2 is also, if you are drinking any alcohol, caffeine, that will totally dehydrate you, so you have to add more water. Remember, no caffeine or alcohol after 2 p.m. That messes up your circadian rhythm and disrupts your sleep quality, all right? And number 3, the ambient temperature. Right now, do you know what? This is April and it is 88 degrees here in Florida. Yeah, like, so you gotta drink more water, right? So then the next question is, well, that sounds good, but you know, it's kind of still a little foggy. How do I know that I am hydrated on a certain day, given time? Well, I call it the CP Club. Okay, it's a cute story. This is before I had kids, so 1990s. I did a lot of medical missions trips with my church, and a few of the teenagers actually got dehydrated, had to have an IV. So after that, I lectured them and instructed them on urine, okay? And your pee has to be clear by, you know, shortly during the day. It has to be. So they came up with it. So the teenagers would actually, accountability, would say, hey, are you in the CP Club? Oh, are you in the CP Club? Well, if you're not, hey, get some water right now. Down this whole, you know, thing of water. So that's what, so the CP Club, all right? So that's the way you can monitor to make sure that you are well hydrated. And also the other way is just know that you should be peeing about every 3 hours, okay, during the day. And again, don't drink too much water 2 hours before you go to sleep, because then it'll wake you up. And remember the importance of sleep, okay? Excellent. So we've covered the mind and the body, and now we're going to talk about the spirit and the higher power. And again, when you're feeling overwhelmed and pressured and just pulled in all different directions, or anxiety or panic or stuck, that's when you got to remember, just like with the uncertainty, you've got to remember what the Lord has delivered you from, has brought you through. That's when you think, hey, wait a minute, I think I've had problems bigger than this one. And I've gone through them. It was tough, but I got through them. And then just remember who you are, your identity. You are a courageous, compassionate warrior. And that is who you are. And your core character qualities, you persevere, you're a fighter, and you're strong, okay? So you just kind of ground down to that. And then one of my classmates from my coaching school right now actually sent out an SOS post today. She was gotten behind on her, studies because of the pandemic and things, and so she was just feeling really overwhelmed and just, stuck, scared to start. So after hearing that post, it just reminded me of my favorite song, and I'm just going to bless you with that, okay? And I actually sang it to the whole group. When peace like a river attendeth my way, when sorrows like sea billows roll, whatever my lot, you have taught me to say, it is well with my soul. It is well with my soul. It is well with my soul. So, this is the concepts we have talked about. Fear is an invitation that something is amiss. Crisis is a danger and an opportunity. Isolation, we're going to choose connection and together. Uncertainty, we're going to choose our destiny, the best you. Trauma, we're going to transform that into growth. And now we have a new one. When you're feeling overwhelmed, you are going to take an action and become an overcomer. I am Dr. Wu. I am listening. We are getting better. We're getting stronger. We're getting healthier. In the name of the great physician, I pray for you peace, compassion, brilliant minds, and amazing health. Yahweh, Rapha, Shalom.